Hi everyone, I'm making this flow session that is happening right now because it just takes a little while to sit with something and then all this other information starts flowing through to be shared. So it only takes something of like a little bit of importance or relevance that sort of hits the heart for a true heart, helpful throat, so speaking, sharing to the world. So that is transformation. And so when you sit with the idea of transformation, I can feel into and see that there is blocks in our own realities that come from bravery not being a important part of ourselves to stand up for change. So of course transformation takes all different levels of awareness and higher intelligence to look at the bigger picture that we're all a part of. And we block ourselves by not looking at the bigger picture and using our whole selves to take a bring together within ourselves wholesome stance. Like transformation happens to us not to tear us apart for good, but to open us up at the seams to let out some more in our reality. So it's when we would like to keep those seams closed and we keep sort of searching around inside what we already know and saying, how can I just carry on and make like the structures that are already in place, how can I just make them more of what I want? But see, that kind of goes against the purpose of transformation altogether. As we like look around now, for an example of the trees, do the trees argue to stay the same, or do they naturally evolve through the elements? We can't argue to keep things the same. It's we're a natural part of this evolution, and so growth is just a given. And growth can get like a little untidy because you're letting go of the old. So it's when we battle to keep things the same and all the seams of us like just kind of, no, I want to keep it looking this way and I'm going to keep it looking pretty. You know, like our presentation to the outside world, or for the fact that we don't want to feel the moreness of ourselves. We fear it. That's pretty much it, right? Because it feels like you're going into the unknown of yourself if things have been the same way for a while. But you can't battle or deny that when change keeps knocking on your door, then it's you that's got to open up. It's you that's got to open up and take off the coat of what you've been wearing into what else is there for me. I'd love to keep this coat on because I'd really like this to be my life experience. But because we're naturally a seed shedding its layers and into the soil and the nourishment and the moisture and the light and the actual, I don't know if you can see the moon, but I'm going to show you at the same time. We're a part of that light process. The planet is a part of that light process. So, you can't point out to the world and tell it, stay the same for me, or give me life in a certain way. Otherwise, where is the adventure of breaking your heart shell open? Because that's what we do. We put a covering over ourselves, a layering of protective devices, you could call it, because we devise ways where we don't have to share ourselves so much, because our memories will go back to past experiences. But if you're going to live in past experiences, then you're not present in the now. Like those beautiful waves down on the beach. So present in the now. Can we stop them? No. So roll with the waves and the tides and the cycles and the seasons. Let go when you're trying to hold on too tight. Just let go, let go, let go. Because inevitably you're one with all of this, so you will be continuously prompted from the inside, nudged from the inside. And also the inside is connected to is spirit, because every moment we are on a spiritual path. So we have spirit guidance in the unseen of the same energy of the nature on this planet that created it, allowed us to have bodies. So this natural force of forward onward momentum cycles is going to keep wanting to bring out of you your spirit and the contentment of living your soul's path this lifetime. Your soul's expanse from its last lifetime, like where it's at and what it came here to be a part of with Soul Tribe on the planet. So holding back transformation is kind of debilitating to joy in life. So if you're going to feel entitled of anything, it would be that you do your work and through that you experience joy, because that's the whole scope of why we're here. Our unique souls are going to open up, connect, do different things, assist the planet in all different miraculous, wonderful ways, because everything's going on behind the scenes than we can possibly really ever imagine. And that is the breath of everything. So this force of nature is going to keep wanting to instigate, especially in this light era awakening, that the more we receive understanding, the more we're connected to the earth, the more who we are is going to be like a force of nature through our pads of our feet, magnetically pushing us forward, moving us forward into the more timeless reality, where there's more of a flow of acceptance that of a lot of things, really. Flow of acceptance, like we don't question what we're capable of. Yeah. That is more an accepted flow state reality, one with everything's growing, we're all letting go at different times, but the beauty is that we're connecting, growing with such all unique natures, just like the trees along the shorefront. And that gorgeous seabird over there saying hello. Good morning, sunlight. Putting out a call. And it's joy, no doubt. And take a swim if you want, but I'm not. Oh my God. Too cold. So I think that's it on transformation as we hit the 12 minutes and 22 seconds. Good numbers. It's lovely down here. It's lovely on any shorefront. Make the most of it. And the sound of the water. Go with the flow. Let go, let go, let go. But yeah, that was the reminder anyway. So take in what you want from that, and just remember that it is a soul, so your own self, your soul responsibility to be aware and accountable of your own growth. That no one can do that for us. So be careful what your mind thinks of that, and may tend to play tricks on that as though you're not accountable for expression and expansion we're called. You are utmost responsible for any expansive feeling being called through you to give it all you got. Because nothing lasts forever in this world. Hey, that's the whole point of it. Like, how different does life look these days as to, like, 40 years ago and 100 years ago? Nothing's going to stay the same, so nothing, like, it's the process and progress of evolving, and souls don't get sent here to purposely go against their own opening and progress and work. It's more of, let's join together in the honest fact that we are all doing this process, and that needs to be the new understanding. we're all doing more than what appears to be a human living process, and we're doing a soul awareness, giving more of ourselves in the world, because we've just settled for that shallow perspective that money buys all happiness. Now, I know we don't all believe that solely, right? Like only that, because our souls connect all the time without us even realizing that that's what we're doing. Like our joy connections, our expression connections. This is soul connections. This is not run by funds. That's what I'm saying. And so the awareness that we are in soul process, soul connection, expansion of the heart and soul, not limitation via the thrown around belief with our expression that numbers rule our joy. I'll leave it there, but I can feel something else coming through. That was a flow recently to do with actually hitting that point. And I'm not going to do that right now, because this is just a chat on transformation and opening ourselves up to that fact. But the point that I will come back with is the density of that belief, that we have got by for so long where we just viewed life as human beings, money making, supporting that throughout our construct of life, and believing that that must rule how we have built structures on getting each other to fit in those structures first, and not the fact that we are feeling beings first. Like as though feelings, it seems like I'm flowing into this. The more I open up the question, the more I flow into it. Because I get joined with my guidance teams, spiritual guidance teams, and we just keep flowing. So no matter what this human would like to do, the joy of feeling the flow of opening something up is more important than what I might limit it to. So the values of the fact that our feelings, we're feeling beings, we're vibrational, which is feelings of different intensity, slow speed, high speed, so low vibrational and higher vibrational speed, intensity. So, our feelings are like, do we slow down and feel the lower and slower, or do we remember that we're like middle and above? Yes, we drop into these lower, slower, but we always have the option of opening up our eyes and putting our bodies and souls into new experience and not lagging back in the 3D slow. So that's the important point to remember, instead of getting caught up in mind structure, which is what we've done. That the importance that everyone comes to Earth to feel as much as they can, as much as they want, and sometimes that takes bravery to break out of the old. The old slowed down. It's like you got to pick up some speed to say, I can have higher vibrational feelings. I'm allowed to have higher vibrational feelings. I've lived in lower mental construct I believed was a part of like the higher construct. Like, this is as high as we go. We treat each other this certain way, and that's as high as we go. But then life knocks on your door and says, but hey, you can feel other feelings too. You can feel good going and doing something new. Which is like our uprising right now into the chest. So into the expansiveness of, we can feel more if we want. We don't have to be ruled by old mental construct that is really developed on how many figures do you have. And if you want anything in this world, it can be made difficult because in that mental construct, we're going to apply more, so dollars, we're going to apply more numbers to it, so more expense. We're going to associate just living and joy with a number amount. Okay, so this is like, we need to wake up out of this. This is it's right in front of our eyes, but it's also hidden. So if you wake to seeing it, like a view from these tall buildings, for example, see a different view that the way we treat each other at heart level and above, so what we express to each other must come first. We don't reach to our pockets to decide whether our feelings can be nice to someone or not. Like, mentally, we don't have that construct. So if you start to open up to that, it's like you can walk down the street and you can see two people in suits, right? For an example, two people in suits, say, because of this mental construct. There's the mental construct of, if I have more, I can treat you a certain way, or I can set up things to treat you a certain way. Or the other suit says, we have these constructs for some stabilizing of some particular organizing, so organizations, but that is not ruled on developing it on lesser values, but instead it's on maintaining the kind of world we want to live in between each other. Because when you do that, you open up the true flow intelligence that we are supported by. You know, everything that grows the trees, everything that put the oceans here, everything, the planet, the fact we got bodies, the power of that running through us more as a light network now, and we stabilize that true intent, then we work from there. And we don't drop lower into only functioning from numbers, like, which is also part of our physical consciousness, the location of our chakra vortices, hip level and below, which is like, I can operate lower if I want. To give you a quick example, people who suffer a over concentration on money foundations will generally have leg or back issues, especially of the hip and lower back, these kind of things. Or if you're overworking yourself due to telling yourself you have to keep going, because you're over concentrating on your foundation and not on opening up to the joys of life and sharing this growth intelligence that you are and who you are becoming as a part of it, which is the soul. If you don't give space to the soul, we find ourselves in all sorts of mental issues, and then we push it down with medication. Sometimes medication is good for stabilizing of some people, but we generally push it down in our organic structures. Thanks to the rise of natural therapies, we can have some rise with some balance. You only want medications really in emergency. We need to look more at our foundational root system of mind and emotions. But so going off track a bit there, but the higher maintained light network of us, which is the solar plexus. So take a look at that sun. The solar plexus into clear flow of our expression from the heart chakra and above. Really using our higher intelligence with the support systems that are watching over us and assisting this gorgeous planet and all of us one with, for a really enormous, miraculous time in global evolution. What a gorgeous day. I hope you all enjoy. And that is it from me for now. Love, love, love.